Hey everyone, it's Matt here and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. So apparently there was a patch update today. I didn't even realize it, especially at first. It seems to be pretty minor, but some of you were saying in my Discord that you noticed your games updated today. So I decided to launch EA app and also noticed that mine did as well. So there was in fact a patch, and we didn't know until several hours later what exactly that patch was for. So let's jump into it. We have a tweet from Sims Direct Communications. Today, a patch for The Sims 4 was released on PC and Mac to temporarily disable the lose teeth feature that caused unwanted changes to a Sim's appearance. So they've disabled that feature, I guess, until they fix the issue with Sims appearances changing. So I'm guessing we're probably going to expect another patch sometime in the future, not just for a fix for this, but most likely for some other bugs as well. They also write here, we've provided a workaround for console users on Answers HQ and will continue to investigate re-enabling the feature in a future update. So they've disabled a feature. Have they ever done that before? They also link here console workaround for loose tooth issue, which I do want to take a look at here for a second with you guys in case you're watching on console. EA Cade writes, an issue has been identified when playing The Sims 4 Growing Together on PlayStation or Xbox. When encountered, this issue can result in a sudden and unwanted change to your Sim's skin tone, hairstyle, and clothing. Ooh, that's a nasty bug. Please follow the guidance shared here to avoid this issue until a game update is available for these platforms. So this is happening on PC and Mac, but this note right here is specifically for PlayStation and Xbox users. If you have a child in your household, you should watch for your child to receive the uncomfortable lose tooth moodlet. This moodlet can appear after a child wakes up from sleep or participates in a strenuous physical activity. When you see the in quotes lose teeth moodlet on your child, you should then click on the sim and select the in quotes pull out loose tooth interaction as soon as possible. Things to avoid. Avoid letting the lose tooth moodlet naturally expire, and avoid your child aging up to a teen while the lose tooth moodlet is active. Yikes, this is a nasty bug, but at least they've addressed it and made all of us aware. And of course, I'm here to bring all of this news to you guys as well. This is not just on console, this is also on PC and Mac too, guys. So make sure you guys update your games, and if you're on console, follow these workarounds. There is another post here that is specifically for PC and Mac users. Hi Simmers, today's update is releasing on PC and Mac platforms only. We are addressing an issue in the Sims 4 Growing Together expansion pack, where Sims who lost a tooth were intermittently having their skin tone, hairstyle, and clothing change. We are temporarily putting this feature in timeout by disabling the ability for Sims to lose a tooth as we prepare a fix to the underlying issue. Keep an eye on the Sims Direct for updates on the return of this feature. It sucks that this is happening, but actually I think it's a really good thing that they're patching and just removing this feature, because imagine if they didn't do this and everyone's save files were just like ruined because of all these changes happening to their Sims and no one knowing what that was and what's going on and how to fix it. So it's best that they at least temporarily disable it while they figure out and roll out a fix for everyone. There are some responses here from the Sims Direct Communication to Sims community members. One user writing, is this code for in quotes we're just going to remove a buggy feature instead of fixing it? Because some of us bought this pack for the child gameplay. Y'all better fix it. Sims Direct responds, we are temporarily disabling this feature as we prepare a fix for the underlying issue. We'll also provide updates on the return of this feature when available. So no word yet on when it's coming back or when it's going to be fixed. We just know that a fix is planned for the future. So hoping that it's not too long, because I can definitely see why some would be disappointed. They also share a response in another thread about unable to download. Apparently there are still issues with downloading Growing Together, which is just really unfortunate. Olivia writes, what about those of us who still can't even access the pack but spend $40? I don't even care about playing Growing Together EP anymore. Want a refund? Sims Direct responds to this, we're sorry to hear you've been unable to access the pack. Have you tried contacting an advisor at EA? Contact us to cancel your pre-order for repurchase. The support advisors will ensure that any payment already made is appropriately refunded. So again, guys, guys, I made a video about this. If you're still having problems, definitely check out this thread. I'll have this linked below on my website as well. And one more thing before I go, guys, there is some changes to the way Sims gain or lose relationships with each other with the Growing Together Infants update, but now we actually have these changes broken down for us in detail from SimGuru Nova. So we have a whole thread here. SimGuru Nova writes, during the live stream, I mentioned a sneaky little base game update that came alongside Growing Together in Infants that changed the speeds at which Sims of different ages will gain or lose relationship with each other. I present to you those changes in detail. A thread. First of all, what's changed? Every Sim life stage now has different multipliers applied to their relationship gain or loss when interacting with other age groups. Relationships between Sims of different ages might feel a bit easier or a bit more difficult to raise or lower. Another thing to note, the multipliers depend on which age is actor or target of an interaction. That means the multipliers can be two-sided. For example, child actor speaking to teen target, slower rel gain. Kids are uncool. Teen actor to child target, big relationship gain because older, cooler kid. I knew that something was different, but it's nice here to read the specifics and know for sure exactly what's changing because this wasn't really fully specified in this much detail in those patch notes. SimGuru Nova continues, starting off simply, infants. Infants will gain relationship much faster with most other ages, but struggle a bit with toddlers who are in their own little worlds. Teens and young adults who have other priorities, but all relationship losses equal much lower. Infant babble can't offend that much. So we have a picture here of what some of the changes are. So from infants to other ages, losing relationship is much slower and gaining relationship is a lot slower for toddlers, teens, and young adults, but much faster for infants, other infants, I guess I should say, children, adults, and elders. Up next, we have toddlers. Infants are wary of toddlers, and toddlers can't do much to impress children or teens, but they gain relationship quite fast with other toddlers and easily charm adults or elders. Across the board, most people won't take toddlers being mean very seriously, hence lower relationship losses. From toddlers to other life stages, for the most part, from children to elders is going to be slightly slower, but much slower for infants and other toddlers. And as far as gaining relationship, much faster for other toddlers, adults, and elders, slightly faster for young adults, and slightly slower for infants, children, and teens. This all might seem like a lot, guys. It's a lot to take in, but if you really sit with it and think about it, it's actually not too complicated. First looking at this, I'm like, whoa, what am I looking at? This is kind of confusing, but it clicked with me after a minute or two. So children are a bit more complex. Infants, toddlers, and elders love when children interact with them, and two children equals fast friends, but teens and young adults find them annoying and uncool, gaining relationships slower. Here's a look at the change from child Sims with other ages. Lots of changes all across the board really, except for young adults and adults, where losing relationship is about the same as it was previously. This adds a lot of realism because up next here we have teens. Teens have a tougher time relating to others that aren't teens. They aren't the best with infants, but children find them cool, so higher relationship gains. Other teens equals BFFs, but a teen being mean to another teen hurts much more. And a young adult, and elders don't understand their references. This is all like very true to real life, at least for the most part. You can see from teens to other teens, gaining is very fast and losing is much faster. They're gonna be the most sensitive to these relationship changes. This is actually really awesome to see and get like a deep dive into. Wow. So for young adults, not as many changes when young adults are the active sim. Toddlers and children see them as authority figures, so they respect them more. But teens don't particularly care either way. Young adults do relate to each other the best among older age groups. A lot of these variables being about the same for gaining and losing relationship, but there are some changes here. Now up next, we move into adults. Second to last, we've got some big changes here. here. Now here's where it gets spicy again. Infants, toddlers, children love when adults in their lives give them the attention they deserve, but to teens, adults are the worst. Interestingly, adults find it harder to quickly befriend other adults, mirroring reality in a way. You can see from adults to teens, gaining relationship is very slow, but adults to toddlers is very fast. And there are some other variables with some of the other ages, but those are the most extreme changes here. And lastly, we have elders. Similar to the effects of adults, but a bit more lenient, younger Sims expect elders to be a bit crankier, so a few relationship loss multipliers have been softened. But again, teens don't want to hear elders trying to be cool plus relatable, and elders tend to be wary of each other only slightly. So from elders to teens, gaining relationship is very slow. SimGuru Nova finishes with, and that's it. One thing to note is these changes are relatively subtle, so it shouldn't feel too intrusive with each interaction, but definitely noticeable over time. I like this. I think this system is really neat. Improving the dynamic of relationships and how things translate in terms of what life stage you're in and who you're interacting with. It's so true to real life, and it's nice to see that more accurately reflected in game. I mean, I believe it was already pretty accurate, but to see these changes just makes it even better. Share your thoughts about all of this below, as well as what I talked about earlier on in this video with the latest patch update, with the temporarily disabled feature for PC and Mac, and the workarounds for console. I love you guys. Of course, if there's any more news or information, I'll be back as soon as possible. I love you, take care, and happy simming.